I believe you might have come across this video circulating on social media where more than 300 foreign soldiers, military, they surrendered to the United Nations peacekeeping mission in Congo after M23 defeated the Congolese military in Goma. And these people were sent through Rwanda to go back home to their home country. And when I read through their profile, I came to discover that they were hired by the Congolese government to fight the M23 rebel in Goma. So this is a question I am asking because it disturbed me so much, because this is an attitude that should be condemned all over Africa. And I don't know. I was asking myself questions throughout these days concerning my home country, Cameroon, whether there are also foreign military fighting within a Cameroon military in Cameroon that we don't know, that the government maybe is using the taxpayer money to pay them. And in many other countries, there are many of them, more than 300, hired to come and fight. And these people, they are mostly from Europe. And this is gradually encouraging the creation of private military companies in European countries and other places, as we are seeing, just to be hired and paid by government of different countries. Why can we not train our own military? Why hiring others to come fight us? Why can we not settle our problems on a table in which we know that it will only end on the table? These are questions many people are asking, and TFA Talking Point is not different. I am very sorry for what is happening in Democratic Republic of Congo. That has been for many years, and from statistics, they say more than 6 million people have been killed because of this crisis that started many years ago, and more than 7 million displaced. And we keep doing this to ourselves because of poor governance in Africa. And the city of Goma taken away by the rebel. And there is a serious tension between Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Rwanda. And we don't know how it will end. And 13 soldiers were killed, and maybe 12 of them United Nations peacekeeping missions with 3 South Africans within. So with all this happening in our homeland, mainly because of insecurity, but our governments are not looking at the root causes of this insecurity in our homeland. And foreign countries, especially European countries, America, they are taking advantage of the insecurity. And because they are benefiting from it, they will struggle by all possible means to create conflict all over Africa, all over third world countries, so that they can be hired. Because this company need to be running. They need to pay the workers on all these private military companies. And if this is something that is coming up and the United Nations created to maintain peace is not doing anything to stop this creation of private military bases, companies, then the world will become the most dangerous place on earth. They were hired. They decided to leave their country. They say Romania, Georgia, and many, or that is eastern part of Europe. Who sent them? Who owned the company? Who gave them the license? Is the United Nations aware of? And when these people will come because of their color skin, they believe that because just that name, mercenary, it means that they are professional soldiers. And then they will come now and make as if they are superior over the local military. And that superiority will push the other ones to be inferior. And you, in a little while, you discover that they will be the one controlling everything. And because they are superiors, because many of the military look up to them, some of them are taking away. Their government are using them to take away minerals from our home country. And we have never heard about all this in many of our National Assembly that the government voted. Maybe it is a private decision by the military, head, and the president. So I am just asking whether Cameroon is having private military, because the way Cameroon is afraid of Israel, I believe, because the Israelis are the one training bees in Cameroon. I believe they are within. and the government maybe hire them to do some certain things. And these are the things that can, if we keep doing it, we can never be independent. Africa would never be independent because every nations all over the world, they are struggling by all possible means to dominate one or two nations. But Africans remain at the base. That other will come and be dominating. Why other? What is Georgia or Romania? That you have to be hiring military from there to come help you. We have to change this mentality. We have to change this inferiority complex within us, that we believe that we cannot do it. It is not all about fighting. Fighting is the worst thing. TFA condemn it. We call it abomination. Fighting to resolve a problem. All problems have to end on the table. And no matter what, when you read the history of the M23 and the Congolese Democratic Republic of Congo, you discover that they have had several dialogues ended on the table. But the government failed to fulfill its own part. And that is why the M23 was created. Because the government failed from the first agreement that they have, that they will recruit and integrate all the fighters into the Congolese military, and also they will recognize their branch as a main political party. But all these promises did not work, and that is why they created this group again, and it is so deadly. Why can we not look at the root causes of where are they having people willing to join the military? Is it that Africans are just willing to join the military? No, they are not willing. All of them, all Africans were not created to be fighters. If you see today, majority in Cameroon, Nigeria, in all African countries, they are fighting only to become soldiers because it is the cheaper way to join the government. And the government is the only means of employment. Because they have created poverty, they have created frustration, they have created illiteracy, and to remain in power. And this is the whole issue. The Nigeria professor said, the children of the poor you refuse to train today will not allow your own children live in peace. If we do not take this particular statement into consideration in Africa, it will be very difficult for us to develop. Because we keep on holding on to poverty, illiteracy, main issue. If all these children we are having, every child growing up in Africa is having a focus. Nobody, no rebel groups would deceive any of them. If there was a very good educational system, if there was a very good program economically, that every child is having a focus. Boko Haram in the far north region of Cameroon would have a vulnerable, frustrated, idle Cameroonians to recruit. And when they promise them any little things, they just accept. If you go somewhere and see somebody and say, okay, bring your friends. If you bring 20 of them, and then they join the militants to fight the government, when we will defeat the government, we are going to make you minister. We are going to make you governor. We are going to make you this. Will the person not do it? And then he will defeat and tell the friends that, okay, we are going to give you 1 million. We are going to give you this. Deceive them. They will join it. But if the economy was properly organized, poverty struggle by all possible to eliminate it, illiteracy reduced by creating schools, not political schools, I believe we could have successfully end all this conflict in Africa. But if you are a government or a president or a leader, and then you do not focus on all this, focusing on the root causes, your own is that you want to fight the rebel, then you will never defeat them. Because I keep on asking that if you take over power today, if I take over power today, the first question I will ask, who are the rebels? If they are Cameroonians, meaning they are rebels because of something. They are not foreigners, they are Cameroonians. You have to talk with them, dialogue with them, and hear from their own part. Why are you a rebel? Why are you fighting for separation? Why are you a terrorist? And when you gather all these questions from them, then you hear their own point of view, then you agree with them. What can we do now to form a better country? What can we do to satisfy you? If they say, give us this one, we want to be part of the government, give them, let them be part of the government to end the problem. The government is not for one person. Every citizen is a government. But some individuals took it upon them, said that they are the government and everything is supposed to come from them. It should be them and nobody else. And that is why we are having conflict in Africa. We have to change this mentality.